This is Franconia Springfield Metro Station, the southern terminus of the DC Metro's Blue Line, located here in Springfield, Virginia. Bing bong, step back, doors closing. Springfield, Virginia, which did not get widely built up until the 1950s, is one of the 67 places in the United States called Springfield. My dad grew up in Springfield, Pennsylvania, and the most populous Springfield in the United States is in Missouri. This is just one of the tons of Springfields that are out there. But here we are in Springfield, Virginia, located in southeast Fairfax County, about 10 miles from downtown Washington, D.C. All right, we're almost there. There's the old Greyhound logo, VRE, and Metro. The Franconia Springfield train station has had a decently long history, starting as your standard railroad station in 1870, constructed by the Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railroad. That station was demolished in the 1950s, and between 50s and the 80s, not much happened at the site of the railroad station. But metro stations were planned for both Franconia and Springfield, two separate stations. But these plans changed in 1979 to combine them into one station, which is the station we now know as Franconia Springfield. All right, let me give you a quick rundown on what the station design is like. So here we can see the two platforms. Right here is the Metro platform. Right next to it is the VRE platform. Right down here is a walkway to a little neighborhood that I will show you, one of two. Here is the main walkway over to the bus bays and to the parking garage right here. And then there is also a walkway, like a little sidewalk that goes out here and over to the TSA building. And right back here next to the TSA building is a little condo neighborhood. The first part of this modern Franconia Springfield station to open was the VRE platforms in 1995. And 2 years later, in 1997, the Metro station opened to the public. Due to a surge of ridership from this station, an additional parking garage was constructed in 2003, providing more spaces for people to park their cars while driving to the station, which due to its suburban terminus nature is a decent amount of people, probably more than half.
Walk through the parking garage, we're going this way. There's the station. This is the main entrance to the station. There is another one, but it's
on the other side.
It's extremely inconvenient to get to VRE.
It's way over there.
Different times. Or different type of two.
1, 2. Oh well.
I've made that mistake before.
Is this 2 or 1?
We need to go 3. Whoops. Okay,
Oh.
we can get out. Well, it's going down first. This is what we call a 0-minute transfer. Doors, come on, classic DC fashion.
Doors opening. Step back for allow customers to exit. When boarding, move to the center of the car.
Step back, doors closing.
The station can be found on the bottom left section of the Metro map, all the way down at the bottom. The station is center platformed, and the platforms are 600 feet long, like all Metro stations. The station was constructed in the 1990s, and it definitely has that older brownish color look rather than the new silver look. And I'll put those on screen because it's probably not immediately obvious. I also like this area that you walk under before you go up the escalators with the kind of brutalist and square design. It's a unique design that you don't see at any other Metro stations. All right, so back there is the station. It's about a 3 to 4 minute walk away. And right here you got the neighborhood. It's just your low density 1980s kind of woodsy neighborhood. These people have great metro access. If I could live here, that'd be cool. That'd be best of both worlds. But unfortunately, these houses are probably ludicrously expensive or not even available. All right, time for some bonus facts. This is where the whole 2-for-1 deal comes in. This metro station is also directly connected to the least used station on the VRE Fredericksburg line. VRE is the commuter rail service that runs to the Virginia suburbs. This station gets around 102 boardings per weekday. Most people just take the Metro rather than VRE, but VRE does stop here. It's interesting because it's a 2-for-1 station. You got a station for 2 types of rail systems. There's nothing immediately near the station other than the Metro parking lot to the north and a single-family neighborhood to the south that you can walk to, which is really interesting. The closest points of interest to the station are the headquarters for the TSA, which is a 12-minute walk away, and the Springfield Mall, which is also known as the Springfield Town Center, which is about a 20-minute walk away. As is common with Terminus stations, there are tons of bus connections at Franconia Springfield. All but a few of these bus connections are with Fairfax County's connector bus system. The other connections are to OmniRide's Express Bus Route 95, which goes down to Woodbridge, along with Greyhound and R-Bus, intercity coach bus services. Going from the front of the Capitol building, which is my unofficial center of DC for measuring distance and time, to Franconia Metro Station takes about 55 minutes, a 10-minute walk to the Metro Station, Capitol South Metro Station, and then a 45-minute ride on the train. The price of one trip from Metro Center to Franconia Springfield Station would be $6.75, and a monthly pass, unlimited pass, to do the same trip as much as you want would be $212. Service starts at 5 a.m. on weekdays and 7 a.m. on weekends, running every 10 minutes during peak times, every 12 minutes off peak times, and from 9:30 p.m. to close, it runs every 15 minutes. Here you can see the last trains of each day on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the 4 weekdays, because each of them has their own time. All right, it is time to talk about ridership. In 1998, the station's first full year of operation, the station saw 5,600 entries per weekday. 2006 was the busiest year for this station at 9,857 entries per weekday. Between 2012 and 19, the entries per weekday went down to about 6,700. In 2023, we saw it get super close to 3,000 entries per weekday on average, and in 2024, it was at 3,353 entries per weekday. So not quite back to pre-COVID, but it's slowly going up. According to WMATA's website, around 4% of Franconia's entries were evaded in the year 2024. The station has a total of 5,069 very nice parking spaces, and in 2024, it got around 1,325 parking transactions per weekday. Compare that back to 2019, when the station got around 2,074 parking transactions per weekday, which is around a 63% recovery to 2019. Between 2003 and 2010, the VRE station was used by Northeast Regional Amtrak trains running to and from like the Richmond and Southern Virginia, and then up to DC, New York, Boston, stuff like that. All right, let's talk about pros and cons of the station. First is pros. There are tons of bus connections connected to this station. There's that random neighborhood that's connected to the station, which is great if you live in that neighborhood. The TSA offices in a small condo neighborhood are also not too far a walk away from the station. Let's also talk about the cons. It takes a while to get to DC from here, almost an hour. You know, you're far from the main area where the metro goes. There's also just not much walkable from the station other than the aforementioned offices and little neighborhood, 2 neighborhoods technically, and it's okay. I rate this station a 5 out of 10. It gets the job done for being a terminus station, having tons of parking for the people that live south of the station with no metro, and it has tons of bus connections because, of course, it does. It's a terminus station. But it's not great in the sense that there's just very little walkability. There's very little stuff to do around the station. So that's why it gets a 5 out of 10. It's okay. Not great. Not terrible.